This audio fiction may contain elements not suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised.
Really? What are the odds?
I have no idea. Astronomical?
Minimally.
You're more concerned that you accidentally guessed right with no foreknowledge of the area?
At the moment, yes, I am.
You did know there was a chance you were right, though, didn't you?
Well, we all know that magic still exists in the world in small amounts, yes.
Yet, we're standing in a fount of fairies.
That is true.
It is, yes.
You realize we have the problem now that we told people to come here, instead of the islands, where the sages reside.
That is currently where my mind is, yes.
You also remember that there are dozens of ships in the bay, right?
I do, yes.
In the name of preserving magic, we accidentally made a blunder.
We did indeed.
Any ideas on fixing this blunder?
Well, we need to return to camp first. But I do have some idea of how to go about fixing this grievous error.
The small, sprightly creatures flit around the moonlit cave. They prance around the four mortals that have waded into their home.
Does it have anything to do with using their magic?
None at all. Hopefully it is something better that we can do without much effort.
It is night, so we may be able to get back unseen.
If nobody's exploring the island at night, nobody would be that foolish, right?
You mean aside from us?
Oh, right.
Doing this was fairly foolish, though.
Let us hope nobody else walks around in the dark in an unknown environment to outdo the other scouting parties.
Without waking the others?
No, actually. I think we may need them.
2 weeks ago.
No, actually. I think we may need them.
And you saw them?
We all did.
Truly? Such things exist?
Oh, yes. They're beautiful.
It is quite an experience, truly.
That may be the best reason to leave port that I've heard in days. Aside from the rumors of those islands that appeared out of nowhere.
Nikan, Eshai, Malia, and Alejandro looked to one another.
We went. Nothing there.
Oh, really?
Slavers use it as a place to make birth.
Ugh. Just a despicable hideout, then.
Absolutely. Not worth your time.
The bar patron leaves the area and joins another group. Whispers begin immediately.
That was close. Yeesh, how did so many people hear about the islands?
Exactly what we're doing.
Oh, right. I suppose you have a point.
Where are we going next, really?
An area of sparsely populated continent. If we sit in the port there on an area that is still wilderness, we can say we were at a place where we saw another magical occurrence related to the fairies.
Across the bar, Tawa sits. He has overheard everything Nikan and his company have said. Tawa sees Zerksius sitting in a corner. Deciding to get to the bottom of Nikan's magical stories, Tawa approaches the older man. Zerksius glances at Tawa.
You saw the fairies too.
We all did.
Where Nikan said. The wilderness on the coast.
Exactly what he said. You gonna see for yourself?
That is the idea.
Good luck. Magical creatures are sometimes flippant.
1 week ago.
So we just explore the island and claim that we have seen more fairies?
Of course. We need to keep people away from the islands. Whatever it takes.
The group sets up camp.
At least it's a beautiful place, away from people.
It is a nice place.
We may as well see what is out there, no?
I suppose so. The sages do need to be left alone. And while helping to do that, we can go wherever we want and enjoy our time there.
So we rest for the night, then look for food and anything else interesting in the morning?
Certainly. We can make notes for other sea dwellers about what sort of things are where. Keep a guidebook.
That is a great idea. We can probably list off good and bad things to eat, too.
Make exploring safer. Certainly.
The group settles in for the night. In the first light of day, Nikan stirs. He sits upright and eats handfuls of berries gifted from the sages. He had taken a liking to them more than other fruits, and expects he will need to return for more of them. He looks up at a group of men and women.
More explorers trying to meet fairies?
Already saw them.
Really? You've seen these creatures?
All of us have.
The verbal exchange rouses the others from sleep.
You expect us to believe you saw these mythical creatures?
Believe what you want. They're real. Magic is real.
Ha! Magic? You are one of those daft sea dwellers hanging on the word of one man's stories.
The group tramples through the makeshift camp area.
Disgusting, gullible creatures, the lot of them.
Nikan glances at the group of land dwellers.
Daft, gullible, and disgusting, eh?
Nikan shakes his head slowly in controlled anger. He takes a deep breath, then waves his hand dismissively.
Gah! What's happening?
I don't know.
Nikan slowly rises. The others turn toward the voices.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Nikan slowly approaches the group. They are on the ground as if they had fallen.
What happened?
We fell. What in the hells does it look like?
Nikan looks down. There were no roots or vines protruding into the path. There were no large rocks or other debris. The path was flat. Nikan shrugs, then returns to the camp area.
Well?
Please tell me something bad happened to them.
Sort of.
Really? What?
Nikan looks above them. Some fruit-bearing trees are in the area. He extends his hand toward one of the bananas. The group watches, awestruck, as the fruit glides through the air.
How did you do that?
Nikan looks at the berries from the Sage's Island.
I have a theory.
With the possibility that the island's magic is still affecting them in mind, Nikan and the others continue with their mission. They pretend to explore the island to find various habitats of the creatures they claim exist. They move through the thicket of trees and shrubs.
There are a lot of people here.
Apparently, news travels fast.
I suspect some of the people here are expecting to make money from the proof that fairies exist. Selling them to people who want rarities and the like.
That seems gross, but likely.
They pass several groups camping among the brush. Groups are making maps and doing their best to be the first among the newcomers to experience the creatures of the island.
Who knew this many people would believe our stories?
I had hoped for this many, but only the ones who wanted to explore the new area.
It's no matter. They're here looking for things that don't exist.
Wherever did you get the idea of fairies?
I read about them in a book when I was a child.
Taking notes on each new thing they encounter.
We could try to do something about the people wanting to settle the new lands near the sages.
Maybe we should focus on the problems we can solve in the short term.
Yes, well, what do you suggest?
Keep spreading rumors? Look how many people responded to the rumors.
I do have an idea, long term.
What is it?
We'll want to talk to the sages first.
All right.
With their blessing, we live on the islands, make them known Sea Dweller ports.
That sounds like a great idea.
The bigots Nikan threw gave me the idea.
Go out of your way to thank them, then.
Oh, of course.
But for now, we pretend to keep seeing fairies.
For now, yes. Another week or so should be sufficient time here. Then we return to the sages briefly.
Why only briefly?
Because on the south of the continent, that is where there are rumors of people floating above the dirt.
So, we're also going to go disprove somebody else's claims of magic?
We hardly want to send people to a place where magic actually is. We need to make certain it really is just a rumor.
Or somebody else's magic.
Somebody else's magic? What do you mean?
Nikan used magic earlier. What if that is what was happening with the floating?
What an interesting thought.
1 week later.
Tomorrow, then.
The group is ready for sleep. They are exhausted from their constant moving around the area while dodging the other groups that might question them about the fairies and what they have seen. Quickly, the group members fall asleep. Nikan turns over. Between stages of sleep, he feels uncomfortable. The sea dweller sits upright and adjusts his sleeping area. He looks toward a nearby alcove. A glimmer of light catches his attention.
Oh, please, actually be magic.
Nikan pulls on his boots. He staggers tiredly through the campsite. His tired footing wakes the others. He hurries toward the glimmer of light.
Where did he run off to?
Further inland.
Why, though?
Only one way to find out.
The three get dressed, then they follow Nikan. The group makes their way through the island with their new quest in mind. They stop at their camp to light torches.
I know this is dependent on me being right about the magic.
I'm willing to try if you are.
Of course. We did promise the sages.
Let's go. Before daybreak. This idea will only work at night.
If it fails, we can worry then.
An abrupt wind cuts through the area. The affected area is where most are camping in an attempt to see the fairies.
A storm. Now?
Oh, it appears so.
Not bothered by the abrupt wind episode, the various groups return to sleeping. Soon after the winds are calm, another disturbance happens. Branches and fruit crash down from above, sans wind. While objects still fall, embers scatter from the various campfires in the area.
We need to get out of the area now!
We need to get back to the ship for safety!
Everyone, hurry!
The groups gather only things needed to survive, then they take off toward the shore. The falling debris, still sans wind, follows closely behind the large group. Alejandro and Malia walk into the area previously occupied by the other explorers.
I am so glad it is working. Oh.
As am I.
They begin the task of extinguishing the campfires that still burn. Having cover under darkness still, Nikan and Eshai hurry toward the shore. The groups had stopped to take a head count and to rest from the incessant running. That gave the pair enough time to rest. They begin preparations for their assurances the explorers will leave. Through the fear and chaos, the groups row back to their ships.
You think now?
They have probably all gotten on board by now.
Nikan and Eshai will flames from their torches toward the ships in the shallow water. Tawa sits and drinks a mead. He is astounded by the sheer number of versions of the same story he has heard in a matter of days.
And then we were in the shallows. Fire rained down on us.
And you think the island is cursed?
What other explanation is there? Magic exists, and it is not a good magic.
That sea dweller was right.
Well, he didn't say that the fairies he saw were evil, spiteful monsters.
Sea dweller? What the hell? You talked to a sea dweller while you were there?
Yeah, what of it?
Tall, dark hair, what else? Insists that magic exists, always has other people around him.
That's him. Why?
I know him. I figure I can hear his version of what happened there.
Zerksius, Shazi, Nikan, Alejandro, Malia, and Eshai are in a fairy fountain. They are floating above the ground as they had before.
So, this is what you've been hiding.
Our dearest children. You know we would never harm such creatures, right?
You wouldn't, certainly.
You were worried about others?
We promised we'd keep people away from the islands.
Somehow, Nikan was right. He picked a random place and claimed fairies were here.
And here we are.
Yes, we are here among creatures said to be myths.
Who exactly did you promise that you would keep people away from the islands?
The people who live there. I also promised I'd not speak of them, so. Ah, that explains why you were so secretive.
We do not intend to ever go there. If magic is there, then being seen in the area will just attract more people.
Actually, I need to return. I'm almost out of berries.
Nikan, that is not a good idea. We are looking at exposing the people who live there the more you return.
Do trust me when I say we need to return for more berries, Mother.
Why is that, though? There are berries elsewhere, Nikan. Nikan, you may as well tell them.
Yeah, they already know everything else.
The berries gave Eshai and myself the ability to use magic. We used magic on the island we were at before, too.
We think there may be magic in the things from the island. We need more berries to find out if we're right.
Magic really may be returning to the world, then.
Oh, that is wonderful. The fates have granted us mercy.
Nikan, Eshai, Alejandro, and Malia stand on the shores of the island where the keepers of the magic reside.
How long do you think it will take them to realize we're back?
I'd be surprised if they were not already aware of our presence.
So, do you want to wait for them to approach us?
It makes more sense to go into the forest again. We know some of the path toward the village already.
And we do know that they place ground traps outside their village, so to use vines to get there after a point.
That makes sense to me.
Shall we then?
Emon stands. The elderly woman makes her way across the bridge to leave the village. Concerned about what had stirred their elder into leaving, the various young sages follow her.